Would it surprise you to know that there's such a thing as narcissistic grooming? So, this is an adult grooming another adult. What does that look like? Well, first thing about a narcissist is that they might meet you and convince themselves they're in love. And so the only way that they know how to have a relationship is to take control of it and create one. They will put all the stops and use all these tactics of manipulation to almost manifest this idea of a relationship with you. How do they do this? Well, the first thing they will do is they will start to mirror you. And there is a difference between healthy mirroring, where we do this organically. It's very organic. You're not even thinking about it. It's just a bodily reaction or something that's going on and how you're connecting. This is on purpose. This is a type of mirroring where they're doing this on purpose, and they will try to find out as much as they can about you very quickly so they can start to do this trick with you. And so something that might happen is you might say that you're into a certain thing, and now they're ecstatic about this certain thing that you're into, and they're starting to just mirror. They might even mirror you physically, but they know exactly what they're doing. You lean forward, they lean forward. They're trying to create this connection very quickly, which leads us into love bombing. And I know I've talked about love bombing a lot, and I'm sure you've probably heard that term a lot. And really, that's the way they're showering you with love. And so what they're doing is they're doing everything they can to get you hooked. It's the high part, when we get into some sort of drug or substance or anything that makes us feel really great. They're heaping it on very quickly before you have time to think. This is something that cults do as well. And they are making you feel excited. They're doing all kinds of, they might literally sweep you off your feet. So they might, they're bringing you Valentine's Day cards and flowers, and they're taking you, maybe they're whisking you away on a trip very quickly. So that's the love bombing. And then what they'll might do is they might start talking about the future. When we do this, when this happens, really trying to already get you thinking about a future with this person. They might dress a certain way. They might act a certain way. If they know that you're into a certain style, suddenly they're dressing in that way. They're creating a persona. It's like they are an actor in a movie that is hired to play a businessman, or hired to play a sporty woman, or whatever role, and they're taking this on to appeal to you. So they are actively appealing to you. This is not an organic thing. This is not where you're building relationship little by little. This is something they're doing to you. And if you're not familiar with this, it's going to feel really good in the moment. It's very easy to get caught up in this. But they are grooming you. They're actively grooming you to get you hooked. And they will really work hard at the beginning, generally. And then once they have you, whether you're in a relationship, maybe you've even gotten married or moved in together, you might even have kids, now they don't want to do it anymore. They can't be bothered. It's too much trouble. They have you. And now the novelty's worn off. And they'll let the mask slip. They're not trying. And what happens is you're starting to wonder, what happened? Where did that person go? And you want to keep getting it back. So it becomes like a drug. And they might give you little bits of that. Like maybe sometimes they go back into that person, particularly if they think they might lose you. And they're really worried about losing their supply, or if there's somebody who is caring what other people think, what their family thinks, or maybe they're trying to convince them, I love you, or you're benefiting them some way, or maybe they love the way you make them feel. That's another thing that makes me crazy. I see this in movies.
You complete me.
I love the way you make me feel. Not Do you see how narcissistic that is? It's not that I feel great around you, or I really love the time we share, or wow, I just feel so great. It's more about you make me feel this way. And you'll notice if you listen, you'll hear that. So back to the grooming. So they're doing all these things to suck you in, basically, until you are hooked. And then when they give you little drips of the drug, it's like they're putting you in an IV. Here, have a little of this nice little feel-good drug. It feels so good. And then they pull it away. They pull it away again, and then you're almost like going through withdrawal, and you'll do anything to get it back. And they have now created a trauma bond. So the thing about grooming is it can be very complex, because certainly we could actually have an okay upbringing. Maybe we haven't had that in our lives, and then we meet this person, so we're not prepared for that, and that can take us by surprise. But in a lot of cases, we've already been groomed. It is actually possible to be groomed as a child by a narcissistic parent to accept a certain level of treatment, or maybe to feel that we only deserve something. So this is where grooming can actually start very young with abusive, toxic, emotionally neglectful parents who already make us vulnerable to that type of behavior. So now it's a double whammy, and that's where we might internalize these things, and this is where we could have a pattern of these relationships, or it might be a one-off. And then good news, if it's one-off, you get out of it and you understand it, you've broken the pattern. So that brings us to, how do we either get out of a situation like that, or how do we put on a repellent? How do we spray ourselves so that we are not able to be groomed? Well, number one, watch this video, and so you're aware of it and you understand what grooming is, and look for the signs. If it feels like too good to be true, it is. You've just met this person, they're already calling you their soulmate. That's another thing narcissists do. They love to throw that word soulmate around. They love to, almost like they've already set their sights on you, and now they're going to make you their soulmate. So realize that truly connecting with someone takes time. Slow it down and take your time. If it's going too fast, see what happens when you put the brakes on. Are they gone? Dodged a bullet. Are they trying to pressure you to go faster? That's a huge red flag. Are they respecting your boundary, and are they all putting the brakes on because you asked them to? That's fine. Sometimes people get excited and they might move a little faster, but if you set a boundary and they respect that boundary, that's a green flag. That's a good sign. Also, though, keep in mind the big picture, because there are narcissists that are crafty enough that look like they're accepting your boundaries, but then will do anything to kind of push that boundary down, or conveniently forget about it, or even give you time and space and then come back even worse. So just keep in mind that even though it might look like a narcissist is respecting your boundary in the moment, see what it's like over a period of time. And this is why we never want to rush a relationship. I learned this the hard way. It can feel so exciting. It can feel so great in the moment. It's okay. It's okay to enjoy it, but just enjoy it. Don't rush it. Let things evolve. Let things evolve at their own pace. Also, the one thing to keep in mind is if someone's trying to put a time limit or a sense of urgency, remember, scammers do that to try and get you to think quickly so you don't have time to think. Cults do that. You need time to reflect. You need time to think. So look for the red flags. If in doubt, slow things down, take space, reflect, have a checklist, and look for the green flags. You can watch my video about green flags. Know the red flags. I have so many videos on that. And just keep educating yourself. Use your critical thinking skills. Trust your gut. And don't accept this treatment from anybody. So remember, an adult can be groomed by another adult. But once you understand what's going on, and once you look for the signs, you will see them. You can extricate yourself from whatever toxic relationship you might be in, and then you can also prevent it from happening again by understanding how that works. And know the difference between a red flag and a green flag. Know the difference between somebody who's truly respecting your boundaries, who truly wants to get to know you, who's truly listening to you and understanding you and not putting on some kind of fake thing. Remember, if someone's hot and cold, another big red flag, right? You should never feel insecure in a relationship. And remember, at the end of the day, you owe no one a relationship, you owe no one your friendship, you owe no one a connection. And it's always better to walk away if it feels wrong. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.